The Way of the Sith, says, it takes decisiveness, effort, and time to create wealth. So capitalism has incentives for that and creates the abundance that altruists wish to strip down the voluntary trade that makes wealth or abundance possible. Very true. When you hear your politicians say this, the rich need to pay their fair share. We need to have an equality of outcomes. You hear things like that basically state the fact that, oh, there's so much wealth in the system. It's in the hands of a few. We need to figure out a way to force the few to let go of the bulk of their wealth so that the rest of us, the masses, can distribute it amongst themselves. Or they basically say the government has the responsibility to distribute the wealth that is available, taking it from the hands of the few and giving it to the rest of us. And that's why they come up with these policies about the death tax and inheritance tax and so on, where people they begin to get scared of actually working hard and becoming wealthy because they get punished for being wealthy. That is a crime, and that should be removed from the books as far as I'm concerned. John White Sensei says, she reminds me of the Birmingham speech about immigration of people who refuse to integrate and instead attack the country that saved them. Very true. I would say that if anyone comes into your country and fundamentally attacks what makes your country great and wants to replace it with the ideologies that destroyed their own country, that should be an automatic no, and they should be sent back to the countries they love so much, since they think those ideologies are fantastic. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section. Craig Dorette 3438 says, she grew up under the Soviet system. She had first-hand experience with the sort of ideology she was talking about undermining the nation. Very true. And that's why we should listen to people like this. I come from a third world country. I have seen how tribalism destroys a country. And when I see these affirmative action steps being taken in the US, it infuriates me to no end, because that is the same thing that happens in my country of origin. And I'm like, don't bring it here. It will destroy everything. It will burn everything to the ground and look for someone to blame. So please, look, that's why I'm excited about her work. She has firsthand, look, no one wants to have the firsthand experience that the Soviet Union dispensed to its citizens. It was horrible. You can read about it read about it in books. And I think that's another thing that should come back. People should read books again. Let's make books great again. Splodgeroo says, it's a long time ago that I read Atlas Shrugged, but as far as I remember, she didn't take the outside forces of globalism into account. It all takes place in a bubble of American industry and a sovereign US government. Today's reality is likely much more precarious. I agree with that as well. She wrote that book, I think she wrote it in the 50s. And today, it is much worse. In the 50s, you had one country, the Soviet Union, that was going full hog into communism, and they tried to spread it across the world, but it was really concentrated in the Soviet Union and eventually spilled over into China and North Korea. And today, it's as if the spirit of the Soviet ideologies has coalesced itself into a globalist ideal. So you have different individuals who have been made wealthy either by inheritance or by figuring out a way to. I need to understand how most of these guys got rich, but most of them got rich. They flip and become globalists who want certain ideas to be spread to every country in the world that makes the world into one single mush that allows them to exercise their power and authority over the entire planet. That is the plan of globalists. It's not about making everybody's life better. It's about putting power, collecting power in a small group of people so that they can spread it across the entire planet. That is exactly what this is about. Linda Gray, WM9UC, said, I still have all her books. The little book that gave me great comfort under lockdown was Anthem. I have to read that book. I read it over and over. It indicated what the future holds under the thinking that imposed lockdown. Bingo. Yet, it is a tale of great resilience. Amazingly, it features pronouns. Well, like I hinted at during the video that produced all of these comments, it appeared as if Ayn Rand was a prophet, because she talked about things that are happening today and she wrote about them so many years ago.